Oh, okay. Monty Bell, the homeless journalist, the gray-haired fox, standing outside of what once was, and probably will never be again, the 614 Salvation Army at Palmetto and McCauley here in Chattanooga. We just talked with two police officers, surprisingly, one from the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga, which is all of this over there and this building here that we're going to talk about later, the red building that's in the far background. Now, here is the entrance to the Salvation Army, the Recreate Cafe, where on yesterday I was approached by a person of color. Let's just do it for the sake of being safe and not call her what I really want to call her. This thing of color came out of that door, and this Randy at the Salvation Army, if you can see further in the background, there's a gate which has a side door, which is where this Randy, who stole my manuscript with a staffer, Christina McClure, that you've seen in some video, they stole the manuscript for Whom the Bell Tolls that was put together by Monty Bell. Now we're walking on down McCauley, as you can see, going towards Magnolia. UTC owns all of this. In fact, this used to be the United Way. UTC has purchased it. They have purchased everything around here pretty much. And this building here, now we've got some students here from McCauley, don't know what their interest is in the Salvation Army, but we'll ask Mr. McCauley about that. What is the interest of this? Now, this is area command of the Salvation Army. This building used to be owned by who is now a Supreme Court justice. That's what they call him. Um, a former black attorney, McClarity, John McClarity, who is now the appeals court judge. This was once his building. The Salvation Army has taken over it. And I've been told that UTC is going to do something in terms of purchasing it as well. But we're getting ready to turn on the conversation that I had today, being January the 14th, the day after the 13th, which was yesterday. And we were banned from the Circuit Courts building, which is Hamilton County's courthouse, uh, some time ago by this black attorney, Reuben Taylor. And you'll hear in another segment where the city attorney, who is white, the city attorney now under this new mayor, Tim Kelly, O'Donnell, Emily O'Donnell, you'll hear her say that the county attorney does not have control over the circuit court building. Now, here's one lady that's coming out of the 614 Salvation Army. She came out of the same door that we were approached by this person of color, saying that Monty Bell is banned because Randy has contracted the AIDS virus. In fact, he has full-blown AIDS. And I guess in an effort to impede his suffering, to say that Monty Bell is the reason that he now has full-blown AIDS is a complete farce and couldn't be further away from the truth. This Randy, who stole my manuscript, no, Randy, you have full-blown AIDS because of your lifestyle of doing what you do with who you do it with, and it has nothing to do with me. So you're going to be gone soon, and you're going to be taken away by your own lifestyle, which is, for lack of a better word, has come to an end. So, in the meantime and in between time, this building owned by UTC, this is where the upward bound thing was. And in fact, this is where our former NAACP president, Eleanor Woods, met her fate, because she and someone by the name of Twyler Boykins was inside this building where the manuscript was stolen by Christina McClure. And it's, as you can see, it's just right across the street, upward bound, and all of that was over in there with Booker Scruggs. And it's just amazing. We were putting together the manuscript at both the Salvation Army as well as UTC, and in both areas, in UTC and the Salvation Army, the copies of that manuscript was stolen. Uh, and they're charging Monty Bell with a crime. Behind them, as you can see in this building, a black man was beaten severely by some officers. That's a federal, um, can I explain it? It's a federal building where those who are going to be released from federal prison are housed, and it's conjoined with the Salvation Army. Now, they're, whoever they are, that keeps banning me with this. Uh, I want to say something so nice about this person of color that I will still refrain. But we are going to let you hear the two officers, one from the University of Chattanooga, UTC. Don't know why he came, and he was told, you'll hear in the interview, not interview, but you'll hear in the conversation that I was reluctant to even talk to him because of the fact that the first book was stolen by a staffer at UTC, and it's on YouTube. So I can't understand why they brought a UTC officer here, and 3 or 4 of them came. I should have recorded that. But then this officer from CPD comes, and as you can see in the background, she's actually standing in the door, this individual of color. And if you can see through the fencing there, and she's in her rightful place, she's going to be locked up in jail. And this is where they came from. All of this section here, don't know her name and don't care. And this building here is another building that that's the building where our material was stolen. So now we're going to go on around to the other side to this area command, and maybe she'll come out. Maybe she'll come out. That's one of the UTC officers' vehicles that's going down the street now. It's surprising that UTC came with the theft of my manuscript, and it occurred here at the Salvation Army. You can go ahead, ma'am. I'm sorry. Excuse us. Yeah. So this is where it all happens with UTC. They're owning all of this property. And if we could go up and around the corner from where we stand now, you'll see where the radio station was eventually housed. The radio station 88.1, where I never had a chance to go on the air. In fact, I was brought back to the city. That's in the complaint to run that radio station. Never got an opportunity to do it. So this is what happens here with the Salvation Army, the 614. And I would be remiss if I don't go on down the road just a little bit further, because for the city of Chattanooga, the county of Hamilton, and the state of Tennessee, our first reported case of COVID came from a church just down the road, maybe a block and a half, was where our first case of COVID was announced. And we can say that one of the parties that contracted the virus, along with their pastor, was one of those involved with the theft of my manuscript. So this is where it happens. This is Chattanooga UTC. And if they don't send your case to UTC, you can rest assured that it will be at UT Knoxville. And we're going to find out why all of our judges are from the school Macaulay. I just showed you where, or Baylor School, I just showed you, and if you can go on in the background, you can see where there is a bus from Macaulay. We'll talk to Mr. Macaulay. I had him on one of my television shows. And we'll see why all of these judges come from Baylor. Every judge that we have in our city seems to come from this school known as Baylor, which is a private school across the river. So in the meantime, I'm Monty Bell, the homeless journalist, the gray-haired fox.